Hi guys, welcome back to the Library of Allenxandria. Today, we're doing the mid-year Freakout tag. The tag where no one is freaking out because
not at all.
That's not what real people do, and there's no clickbait thumbnails here in the Empire. I'm sure you'll see plenty of thumbnails with people going, but not here. So these are members of the City Watch within the Allenxandria Discord. They are great humans and dear friends. So we are going to talk about, without wasting more time, let's get down to business. And answer these questions. And we'll just go in kind of rotating order. We'll start with Pete, and I'll go last for the first one, and then we'll just cycle. So there's 14 questions, and there are 6 of us. We're going to see how fast we can get this done. Look at that ugly blue bubble background with nothing. Like, I have to put, seriously, look at how small we are. If I get rid of this, we're already small, right? We're already small. And then I put this up here, and look. Why does that need to take up 3/4 of the screen? I don't understand.
Can you? Such a diva.
I don't understand. Whoop, nope.
So what you could do, you could zoom in your camera, Alan.
Huh?
You could zoom in your camera like you were doing earlier.
That doesn't, what? No.
Make your head bigger.
This is fine.
Yeah, this works.
Oh, this is
yeah.
better.
This is better.
Okay,
This
cool.
we can see Christina in the background.
This is much better. All right. Anyway, so Pete, best book you read so far in 2025?
I would say it's The City in the City by China Miéville. I wrote this back in January. I've been looking forward to reading China Miéville for a while, and I kind of just picked it up when I was, unemployed. And it was great. I really loved it. It's a vibe. It's very, it's not a hold your hand book. It definitely doesn't tell you things. And it's about 2 cities that live literally in the same space. Whether it is magical or not is up to interpretation. Anyways.
It's like Pete is talking in 1.5 speed.
So no, guys. Okay, so we have to be succinct, but we have to be mindful of the time. But also, there are certain questions that are going to demand more expounding than others, like favorite crush, or even most anticipated release coming up. That's not.
I need to Google for that.
Talking 5 minutes about that. That's why. But you can talk about why this is the best book you've read so far. In fact, you should. So yeah.
Because he did not read anything else. Go ahead.
Why do you like this book, Pete?
It was again, when I go back to the vibe, the atmosphere of it was really cool. This was also a big inspiration for one of my favorite video games of all time, which was Disco Elysium. So seeing the bits and pieces of that book that kind of inspired bits and pieces of Disco Elysium was really cool, because this is about a cop and there's a murder, and going between cities is this whole is this whole thing, right? Even though they're in the same space, you have to go through this one specific part of the city to go between the cities. And it's just really cool. It's very kind of doom and gloom, depressing a little bit because of this society and how this society is built. That kind of fading disco feel you can get from Disco Elysium. I don't know. It's just great, and the story was really good. And yeah.
And you've read more China Miéville since, right?
I have read half of Last Days of New Paris.
Oh, okay. I thought you had read more than that.
I'm planning Perdido Street Station is something I'd like to read this year. Mm-hmm. That'll come up later.
Evie.
So, Sal will be happy, although it will not come as a surprise. One of the earliest books I read in late January, early February, The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. I vaguely remember seeing the animated film when I was a kid, but I don't have any nostalgic, emotional connection to that film. But I read this because it is my best friend's favorite book, and she sent it to me. And it only took me 5 years, but I finally read it. And it is a fairy tale about a unicorn the last unicorn, and she's trying to find other unicorns, and it's very melancholy and sad and sweet and surprisingly funny. And I loved it. So
I like
that's it.
I like the movie better than the book, but I read the book many years after. I grew up on that movie. I love the pirate cat and the drunk skeleton. And fun fact for anyone who listened to The Way of a Dan audiobook, Bledla is I'm just cribbing from King Haggard from that movie.
Nice.
I just channel my King Haggard, and then that's Bledla. So,
and America's got the great title song.
Oh yeah, that's a great song also. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, you've got the beatnik butterfly. There is a beatnik butterfly at the beginning in the movie. There's a beatnik butterfly. I'm not kidding.
I believe you.
Is this beatnik butterfly the beginning of your hatred for beatniks, or does it just confirm it?
So I'll show you right now. Hold on. Okay, so I got it. Oh, crap. Look at me wasting time. That's right. Hold on. Share, present, share screen. Wherever my screen is.
So beatniks, for those of you that are not up to date with the lore, Alan despises them.
Look at him. Look at him.
Wait, I thought he was going to have a hat.
He does here. Look at him. Look at his little hat.
I'm underwhelmed.
Well, look at him there. He got a hat.
Oh, he's a little beatnik.
The scarf makes it more.
Yeah.
Well,
Stupid hat.
Anyway, that is from the movie, and the Red Bull terrified me. Anybody here seen the movie, and remembers it?
We did watch it long after we read the book.
Gotcha. Yeah. The Red Bull was terrifying. Anyway. Kai, what about you?
It didn't give you wings. Anyways.
My book of the year, best book I've read so far this year is Look to Windward by Ian M. Banks. Which is the sixth, maybe seventh culture book.
Nice.
And most of the culture books are standalone, but this is one that has more connective tissue with the previous ones, which I think enhances it. And you can really see how much Ian M. Banks had grown as a writer from that first book that it connected to this one, because it sort of deals with some similar stuff. Lots of themes of grief and trauma to do with war, like an intergalactic war. And also you get to see a lot of what life is like on a particular culture hub, they're called. It's kind of like a ring world from Halo kind of thing. And there's many of these of all shapes and sizes and stuff like that. But this is a particular one. And it just really hit in a lot of ways. It's not really super plot heavy. There's something like threads that go places, some that don't go places, but it kind of works in a nice way. Ian M. Banks was known for writing the culture books, but he primarily wrote literary fiction to pay the bills. So you can get, it's sort of like, it's sci-fi, but there's it kind of tastes like literary fiction. So lots of good stuff there if that's what you're into, and not the sort of usual sci-fi stuff you'll see. It's sort of unique. So that's my best book I've read so far.
Awesome. I want to read culture, and I haven't gotten around to it yet. Have you read The Algebraists by Ian Banks?
I have not. That's one of his standalone non-culture sci-fi books, but I've heard very good things. I'm very excited for that one.
I have The Algebraists just randomly. I don't even know when I acquired it. I've just had it for years and just haven't read it yet. Charmaine?
My favorite tied with my book for the second question, but I chose The Women by Kristen Hanna. This book actually really surprised me. I didn't really know much about it going into it, but I just knew I read The Nightingale and I liked it. But this follows a woman who goes and enlists in the Vietnam War as a nurse. And she is very like sure of herself, very strong-willed. So she has a lot of strength in the beginning of the story, and she gets really tested and tried in the war. But coming back, you think it's going to continue. Her story is going to continue, but she really ends up, unbeknownst to her, struggling a lot with the effects of what she experienced in the war. And you just kind of, it's a great character study of like PTSD and like what Vietnam vets went through when they returned home. And it's just a very endearing story. Highly recommend.
Right on. Anita, you hated that book, didn't you?
No, I haven't read it yet, but if I try Christian Hannah, it would be
What's
that.
the title, Anita? What's the title of that book?
It's not me.
So you would have hated it.
Anita hates women, confirmed.
I know. No, we determined on one of the streams that she takes off half a star just for a woman existing in any book.
Anita.
So,
Don't believe that, Charmin.
Anita,
She said it herself.
Okay, I have to live up to my title as Alan's loyalist. So my best book I read so far is Purple and Black, which is a novella as part of the collection academic exercises. So if you want to give a try to Parker work, Purple and Black is the best starting point. It has everything Parker is good at, actually. His humor is there, and his the characters and the way he gives twist to those characters is just fantastic exploration of those characters. And this entire novella is about, it's just letters between friends. One guy suddenly becomes an emperor. All his elder brothers, everyone dies, so he wasn't expecting it, but he suddenly becomes emperor. He doesn't know or trust all the other people in power, so he just appoints his classmates in like all roles, powerful roles. And it's between the letters between emperor and one of the governors he appointed as governor, his friend, actually. So we learn the world through that. We learn the politics through those letters. It's a fantastic book, actually. I highly, highly recommend it. It's just less than 150 pages, so please try it.
Yeah, I suggest if you haven't picked up Parker and want low commitment, it's like 120 pages, but many of those pages don't have any words on them. So it's really like a 90-page book. And if you hate it, then I don't know how to help you. But if you like any part of it, then I can tell you which parts Parker does those same things and like which other works he does it, because it varies. Cool. It's me. Can I pick, like, are we doing rereads or was it just books from this year? Like, can I say the best book I've read so far this year is something I've already read before? I don't want to do that. I'm not going to. When has that been true? I'm not going to. I'm not going to use rereads.
We shouldn't have removed that question. Best reread.
Yeah, I'm not going to use rereads, and also I'm not going to double up on books. So this is not actually at the top, but I have other things in there. The best book I've read so far this year. What did I enjoy the most? It's hard. It's hard to. I don't know, guys.
An apt book?
No, I don't think I enjoyed Sea-Watch the most of any book I've read this year. I think that is. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna go against the intelligentsia, and I'm gonna say I think Grace of Kings is. Yeah, I think it's the book, and it's recency bias. It's literally the last book I finished, and I did not enjoy the first 100 pages. And I know, and Kai is not a Grace of Kings lover, which is also fair. But I mean, I read 500 pages in 2 days. To be fair, I wasn't at my house, so I didn't have all the things to distract me. But I mean, I just had a hard time putting it down once I got going, once I acclimated myself to how this is going to be written. And I didn't like everything that happened. And I'm not sure I'm going to like the sequels and how they're written, because I'm told that they're written differently. And I enjoyed the way this is written because I compared it to, some of the, things like, I don't know, like Philip Freeman's Alexander the Great, like a narrative history type thing, where literally things that just happened that we've been building for 200 pages, none of it mattered. And if I treat it as a narrative, that's unacceptable. Like this just not acceptable. But if I don't treat it like that, that happens in my classical studies class all the time, where they prep. Didn't matter. Dude dies before he can execute it. Dead. Oh, all right. Well, I guess we find a new plan. And so it felt kind of like that. And so I felt like I was watching like a Three Kingdoms, even though it's not really the Three Kingdoms thing. I felt like I was watching like a Chinese history drama, where it's just like this moves here, and then these people die, and then this moves here, and then this person outsmarted this, and I'm like, get him. So it's probably recency bias, but I mean, and I also don't, I don't want to use books I've already read, because I enjoyed Shadow and Summer, which Kai also bounced off of, but I reread Shadow and Summer, and having read the whole series, I just love it. I love it. I'm so excited to talk about it with John and
Josh.
And then I also reread Purple and Black, which I adored for the third time. All right,
Christina, do you have a best book that you read this year?
Best book you've read this year? Letter from a Luminous Deep.
Oh, nice.
All right, best sequel you've read so far, Evie.
Last year.
Me this time?
No, last year in 2020.
We didn't check that.
You answered, I laid it. It's okay.
You have to take it down before you can edit it. But it is Bearhead by Adrian Tchaikovsky, the second book in the Dogs of War series. And this, I didn't anticipate to even like this book, let alone love it, let alone it now being my favorite Tchaikovsky book that I've read. I know. I'm sorry, Ellen. I read it at the wrong but right time, in that there are things happening in this book and figures in this book, a particular figure in this book that hits incredibly close to reality in the current climate in the US. And that's all I'll say. It took me literally an entire month to read this book, because a certain perspective was the only word I can use is triggering me. I was having borderline panic attacks reading this character's perspective. And Pete can attest to this, even though he hasn't really finished it yet. You need to finish it, Pete.
You only one chapter to read to get picked.
Oh, jeez. Well, but that just shows the power of Tchaikovsky's writing, that how intentional everything was, even though it was so difficult to read. Nothing was gratuitous. Nothing was just in there for shock value. It all had meaning, all had purpose. And he is incredibly effective in his character work, his world building, his thematic explorations. In this one, he's exploring feminism, femininity, violence, and control. And it's just, Tchaikovsky is just a genius. I know some people bounce off him and don't like his works, but this guy just writes everything, batting 1,000 at this point.
It is weird for someone to say they don't like Tchaikovsky at all. He has so many books that aren't the same.
he writes so, like, his style is so varied and dynamic, but still so distinctly him. And it's just, that's another kind of thing about him, is that he writes to serve the story rather than him forcing his style onto something. And yeah, love it.
All right. Anita?
Oh, where is it? Okay. I'm going with it's Liberation, book 3 in Alchemy Wars. I love this book. First 2 books. Okay. How do I say it without spoilers? Because this is
I
the
still need
last.
to read it.
Yeah.
You can't. You're going to have to just touch on it and go quick.
So it's between like Empire and the Rebellion. So we get a POV of Empire in this book finally, first time. And that POV, I hate the Empire. I hate that POV, but I loved that. I hate that character, but I loved that POV. I looked forward to that POV. The way the author made me invested in that POV, made me invested in what the Empire is doing, was just brilliant. I really, really enjoyed this one. That's all I'm going to say, because this is the final book.
Charmaine?
I chose Light Space Bringer.
Thank you for calling it by its correct title.
Anytime. This was a great book. This was my first book of the year, actually. And I think this really is probably one of Pierce Brown's best installment of the series. I think he finally kind of found his footing, and kind of combined like what he was doing in the first 3 books and brought it to the present. I'm really excited to see what happens in the final book, and I remembered not, let me go back. Pierce Brown has a way of making me hate a character.
Yeah.
Ken Liu and Pierce Brown, they have made me like the angriest the most as far as the characters they write.
The existence of Mata Zindu makes me
see, that's great writing. But highly recommend.
Do you remember, Charmaine? Do you remember the Feb Rising read along? Do you remember?
Yes.
When we read the first 5 all that long ago?
Yes.
That's wild.
Light Springer is such a good like return to form for Pierce Brown. Like, I don't know. I didn't love Dark Age as much as the rest of of everybody.
I didn't either.
Light Space Bringer brings it all back.
Dark Age, I think I enjoyed like the action, but it was missing like depth to me.
Yeah.
And I think he found a way to have both action and depth, as well as move the story along in Light Space Bringer.
Has he announced Red God yet, or no?
Nope.
No. I think it's most likely next year, but we'll see.
He said that last year too.
What about you?
I'm being optimistic.
My best sequel so far this year is Kane Black Knife.
No.
Yeah.
You liked Blade of Tishal, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I did. I'm one of those.
Who writes that? Just
by Matthew Woodring Stover.
No.
Is that the sequel to Heroes Die, or is that the same series? Or
it's same series. It's the 3rd book of 4.
Okay.
So it's like from where the 2nd book finished, it was hard for me to imagine how things were gonna continue. But I thought he did a really good job of getting things to a place where that kind of makes sense. There are some things that are kind of quick or glossed over in a bit, like in a way, but I thought it worked. And I thought this book had a really interesting structure between kind of the present and an in-world way of doing flashbacks that makes sense, while not having to double the length of the book. And speaking of like styles of authors, Matthew Stover just is so good at writing action. Any scene with Kane, like something's going to go down, even if, Kane is on his like last legs or something, that it's almost more dangerous for people, which is, predictable in a way, but it's also exciting. And Matthew Stover has just become one of my favorite authors now. So I'm very excited to read the next book, but I'm kind of like, holding off because I enjoyed it.
I expected to see lots of uncreation, but that's okay.
No,
Yeah,
what it's going to be next year, Kai, is it's going to be Faith of Beasts. That's what it's going to be next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Man, I'm so excited.
That sequel of Mercy of Gods.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, what?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one after Mercy of Gods.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped. Kai and I are Mercy of God's biggest fans.
I love Mercy of Gods too.
No, it's not about you, Anita.
No, Anita sent me a big long text about all the things she didn't like about it while she was reading it. So, Anita, Kai, you know what Kai sent me? Awesome. Oh man, just got to. Oh, so that's what Kai sent me. You sent me like, well, I don't like when it's like, all right, Anita, you must hate the book. My favorite sequel so far is, and this is actually, I actually enjoyed this book more than Grace of Kings. It's above it. I was weighing when I was making my list here, and that's City of Blades, and I'm the only one here. Like Sal doesn't like it, and Simon DNF'd it.
I wanted to mention it, but I'm sure you will mention it. That's why I went with Liberation.
I appreciate that. I thought you were gonna take my answer. City of Blades, I liked it so much. I've never done this. I liked it so much that I lowered book one's rating. I've never done that. I've never lowered a previous book because the next book was so much better.
Nice.
I for being a lifetime civilian and not, no one in my immediate family being in the military, I am just really interested in military history and military fiction, and what this explores about what it means to be a soldier, and it does it with a pretty like brutal lens, like examining what it means to be a soldier and war crimes and the way politicians treat soldiers, and about how not everybody who does bad things is held accountable. But it also has, there are types of soldiers that think that it is their right to take. That's what it means to be a soldier, because you have force and they don't. So a soldier means to conquer. But then there are those who believe that a soldier is meant to serve, like, and they're meant to protect. Their job is to make sure other people can have things, not being a soldier so that they can have things. And it's just a really, I don't know, just like tense exploration of PTSD and the senselessness of wars. And yet again, what happens when the oppressed become the oppressors. I guess all my series I'm reading this year are like that. All my series I'm reading this year are like, they're that, the oppressors becoming the oppressed, and like in that first read-along series, and then what it means, like what the responsibility of the ruling class is to those under them. And I mean, that's just stuff that I really enjoy reading about. And so it's not happy at all. Like it's just a dark book, really. But I don't know. It affected me a lot. So we're gonna have a live show about it where I can talk more about stuff. But I really, really enjoyed it, and I get why Sal and Simon bounced off it. I definitely understand. But I loved it.
To get to it,
I loved it.
Yeah, same. I want to get to it.
Same.
Oh, I was gonna go on. I guess we need to wait for Pete.
So I'm gonna cheat a little bit, but I'm gonna put it. But Alan's gonna be fine with it because it's not one.
You're right. I was about to go Pete. No, that's totally fine.
So
that's an excellent book.
Yes, I have not actually finished this yet. I am about 80% of the way through.
Who cares?
I not only like, yes, this book came to me at a very specific time, like when you're reading about riots, and riots are happening in the real world, it's going to be poignant in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. But it's also just a fantastic book about the responsibility of cops, the responsibility of cops, basically.
Vime says in that book, I quote all the time, the law has to apply to everybody equally, or it's not justice, it's tyranny.
Exactly.
And I quote it all the time. And I'm like, yes, Vimes. Yes, Vimes. I don't know why that's such a difficult concept for anybody to understand.
Yeah.
So
this combined with a lot of different stuff going on just has been really cathartic to read. And like having like it's just really good. Is this probably my favorite Night Watch book? Absolutely. Like that's the City Watch book. Yeah. It's just really good, and people should go read Discworld because it's entertaining. It has a lot of great characters, and it's also, you might learn a thing or two a little bit, or just it makes you think in the most unexpected times.
Remember when we were supposed to buddy read that, Pete?
Anita, Evie, you literally I witnessed it 2 days ago, you telling him it was fine.
I know.
Even when I started and I was reading this randomly in a Barnes & Noble, you had told me it was like fine.
Guys, why?
And then I stopped.
Why did y'all keep this question and get rid of the reread one?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's number 3.
Everyone here is a fantasy booktuber.
It's not fantasy, of course.
Here's the thing.
I will say sci-fi. Evie's going to say romance. Anita's going to say fantasy. Charmaine, I don't know what Charmaine's going to say.
No, so I have the stats for this year for myself. 37% sci-fi, 22% romance. One book difference lower than fantasy at 24%.
So sci-fi.
Yep.
I sent Sal my spreadsheet of the last 5 years on BookTube. It's overwhelmingly fantasy. Sal shot out some stats for me. Evie, why did you cut in line? You were first last time. It's Anita's turn.
I thought you were skipping this. I'm sorry. I thought you were just skipping the end.
No. We just don't have to spend a lot of time on it. Anita?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Without a doubt, fantasy. I mean, I was just talking to Evie and Sal this morning. I used to read general fiction also a lot, like 3-4 years back. Now my range is narrowed down. I blame Alan for this, obviously, but it's overwhelmingly fantasy. I mean, sometimes sci-fi, and if there are read-alongs, historical fiction. That's it. And once in a while, romance. That's it. Nothing else I'm reading. It narrowed down to fantasy.
I don't know. I read a lot of different genres, so I picked a genre element that's been consistent, and that's just mystery.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of the books I've enjoyed, whether contemporary, historical, fantasy, or sci-fi, have like a strong mystery element, and I want to know the mystery. I like figuring that out.
Kai?
Yeah, mine is sci-fi. It's no surprise, but and the stats line up with that. But also like for subgenre like of sci-fi this year is cyberpunk. I've been getting more into that and reading more of those, much to Alan's dismay. But and yeah, like was a big surprise with getting into the what's the Shards of Earth, Lords of Uncreation.
Final Architecture.
There we go. With that trilogy, I just read it all the way through, and I wasn't planning on doing that. So, just really solidified my sci-fi love this year.
That was a great one, actually, like space opera and great characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've read 37 books this year. 25 of them have been fantasy. So
what could it be?
I read fantasy. I mean, I've read a lot of nonfiction, like 7 nonfiction. And I always love historical fiction. But yeah, it's just fantasy. That's it's just what I like. I read sci-fi every now and then, but I don't like every sci-fi. Mercy of Gods was great last year, and I'm hoping that Faith of Beasts will be just as good. Pete?
Yeah, mine's been overwhelmingly fantasy, but I'll say like genre I've been loving that's kind of like newish, I guess. Is comic books. So I picked up randomly the Krakoa arc of the X-Men, starting with House of X, Powers of X. And that was just really good and really well put together. I picked it up because I've heard a few things about it, and it's this Krakoa era where the X-Men have their own island nation, and that's just such a different. It's such a change from a lot of the rest of the X-Men stuff, which of course I have not read because I'm not a ardent comic reader. But I was like, I want to read some X-Men. I want to read this specific arc because I've heard some interesting things about it, and it's fun.
Cool. Right on. All right. Cool. That was fast. New release you haven't read yet or want to. I'm gonna. This can be it's out or it's about to come out.
Well, I think there's another question that's
but the other one also allows you to pick a book that is not just about to come out, but you're just excited to read in the back half of the year.
Okay.
Because this one says most anticipated read as opposed to most anticipated release. Because I don't know what's come out that I haven't read yet. Whatever. Y'all can answer however you want. Charmaine, you're first.
Okay.
Anitha's first slot was taken by Evie. Blame Evie, Anitha. Go, Charmaine.
I'm choosing the Ladies' Road Guide to Utter Ruin. It's book 2. It follows the ill-mannered lady, the Benevolent Society of Ill-Mannered Ladies. It came out in May. I haven't read it yet, but I want to.
Dang it! Now I have to learn this title.
Yeah, here you go.
The
Study
Ladies' Road Guide to
Utter
Utter
Ruin.
Ruin.
Is
That's a
it
great title.
is it 25 letters? You can do that for prompt.
It's over 25. I counted.
Nice. Mine is Where the Axe is Buried by Ray Naylor. Became popular from the Mountain in the Sea novel, which I haven't read, but this one, in predictable fashion, is cyberpunk related, so that's why I'm more interested in that one. And I'll be reading it for the Allen Challenge.
Nice, yeah,
because it's purple. So
nice.
It's a good chance.
Okay, well, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and say that this has been released on NetGalley, so it is out. I can't think of any other book that's come out that I want to read so bad. So I'm gonna say the Hexologist book 2 is on NetGalley, but I have not read it yet. And I love Josiah Bancroft. Really, just stand up. There is going to come a time where every single text is going to be on silent. Every single one. Like, I'm just never going to hear a text because people can't just not. Every single group chat, I'm going to have to mute every single one. You know what the problem is? No. The problem is that every group chat, two things happen. One, people send pictures. That's what group chats are. They send pictures. And then every single person has to react to the freaking picture. And if you have an iPhone, or you have an Android, it sends a text. Okay. Now I realize that my text tone is loud and obnoxious. It's that way so I can hear it. It's not meant to go off 30 times a minute. And the other thing that people do is every single person feels the need to respond to every single message, every single one. Hey, I had hamburgers today. Awesome. Great. Hamburgers. Neat. Cool. And we're not adding anything to conversation. All you're doing is making my phone blow up.
They do it
always while I'm doing something, while I'm trying to think.
So is it called Tangle in Time?
Tangle in Time, yeah. Okay. Bancroft's a stand-up guy. I like Bancroft as a person, and just like Greycoats and Senlin were the two series that I first read on BookTube that I just really resonated with, and I didn't like the Hexologist as much as I like Senlin, but it is one of my favorite portrayals of a married couple in fantasy because they're a middle-aged married couple. They've been married for a long time and they're still in love. And, there's not, and the plot doesn't revolve around one of them being tempted to cheat on the other one, and which is what usually happens in those scenarios. So it really feels like, it's like a gas lamp. They're gas lamp paranormal investigators with a healthy dose of what is the responsibility of the governing class. to the governor. Like that's literally it's literally one of the
This is-
things in the first Hexologist. So I don't know if it'll be in the second one, but I definitely want to read it. I just have not had a chance to get to it yet. So, and the other thing I should also say Sebastian de Castel's Malevolent 8, which is actually out. Because I read the first one and I need to read the second one because I'm a big fan of him as well. Also as a person.
What's your ranking on the first 6?
All right. So Evie, your turn.
So mine is The Forgotten Dawn by Laura A. Blake. I have started it. I'm just slowly making my way through it because I get distracted. But pretty good so far. But I have not yet finished it. It is a self-published fantasy romance, but so far it's actually less romance, much less romance. We are just learning about the world, and there's like a competition aspect to it, which I did not anticipate. She probably mentioned it before, but it went over my head. And I'm excited to continue it. And I hope to God I like it. So otherwise I can't have friends anymore.
Anita, look, that's a conversation for another day. But like, if self-published authors that we know and are friends with want us to read our stuff, like surely they want us to be honest, right?
Yeah. I'm just being funny.
No,
so,
I mean I understand. It's hard. I don't want to tell someone that what they worked hard on that I didn't like. I would love to like everything, but I mean that's just not the case. But you know, it is what it is. Anita?
Oh, one is Shroud by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is his latest sci-fi. We will be reading this in when? This month in July in Alan's Discord. And another one I really want to read is I forgot the title. 10 Incarnations of Rebellion by Vaishnavi Patel. This is the retelling of Hindu mythology, 10 incarnations of Lord Vishnu. So I'm very curious to see how she executed it.
Wow. Pete?
Cool. So unlike Anita, I know what Adrian Tchaikovsky is up to. And his actual latest sci-fi that he's written is Bee Speaker, which is the sequel to...
That is the third book in the series. I'm not going to read it first, so I'll go with this.
Anita, tell him to shut up. Tell him to shut up.
Yes, shut up, Pete.
That, however, is my most anticipated release for what I haven't read that's already been released or whatever. I still have to finish Bearhead, which hopefully I'm going to do this month, and then get to Bee Speaker because Evie really loved Bee Speaker, and who knows, that might come up later. We'll see. Yeah, Bee Speaker. It's about robotic bees.
Right on. All right. Cool. All right. Kai, you're first. Most anticipated release or most anticipated read for the second half of the year?
My most anticipated release has to be No Life Forsaken by Steven Erikson.
Oh, Carsa 2.
Yeah, Witness number 2.
I
So,
forgot.
yeah.
That's coming out this year?
Yeah.
I bloody forgot.
In the fall.
I freaking forgot. I'm supposed to be buddy reading that with Philip.
It's okay.
I don't know. He might not want to
he's the
read
most
with you anymore.
understanding if you didn't read it with him. Be very
No, I'm going to read it with him. I
gracious.
just completely forgot. And I'm not reading God Is Not Willing again before I read. I don't have time. So I'm fortunately the Malazan wiki is pretty tends to be pretty accurate. So I'm gonna have to go reread a summary. Nice. Okay. Well, I am looking forward to that one because I did like God Is Not Willing. But my most anticipated release is Lives of Bitter Rain, the novella in the next Tchaikovsky Tyrant Philosophers novella.
Cool.
I wish it was the next. I wish it was the next installment. I'm not thrilled to death that he liked Gil so much that she's going to get her own novella. But I love the Tyrant Philosophers, so don't care. Gonna read it. And
Silver Lining, the fourth book comes out in February.
That was March.
February.
Oh well, regardless, I'm excited. Pete.
Sorry, I'm typing on my spreadsheet because I have to remember to do things. Let's see here.
Go back and
All
watch
that
the
we see
recording.
or seem
Your mic's having a fit, bud. Like having a
You're
fit.
sounding
Every
like
time. It's
You're
always
sounding
the
like
mic.
Robo.
No, it was fine, and now it's not fine. That's what I'm trying to figure out what the
It
problem
does
is.
sound like a chord thing,
No.
like interference.
Always a chord thing.
Now we can't hear
Nope,
you at all.
can't hear you now.
Okay. Evie?
Evie, go ahead and go. We'll jump back to Pete as soon as we can hear him.
Okay. So I have to pull this up because this title's too long for me to remember.
Nope.
Wait, am I saying?
No, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I have two answers. So one is Somebody's Walking Over Your Grave by Mariana Enriquez. It is a nonfiction work by Enriquez, and it's what it sounds like. It's her visiting a bunch of cemeteries and writing essays about each of the graves that she visits. As a morbid girly, this is all I want in life.
I mean,
Something like
real
this.
life graves or those are fictional graves?
Nope, real life graves. And then because she did Instagram photos of like her at various famous graveyards. But and the other one is kind of a cheat of it's the Aeneid, but it's a new translation by Scott McGill and Susanna Wright.
Really?
And it's blurbed by Emily Wilson, whose translations of the Iliad and the Odyssey I absolutely adore. So I will be buddy reading that with Sal in August when it comes out.
Wow. Pete? Oh, wait, Anita. We'll wait till Pete gets his mic fixed. Anita?
Oh, me. I thought we were going. Sorry. Anyway, I don't read new releases much. So only thing I am excited for is Tchaikovsky's novella, that is Hungry Gods. I think which is coming out in August, maybe. And
I forgot about that too.
yeah, and Parker's novella Making History, that is coming out in September, which I started NetGalley arc.
I'm actually getting irritated at NetGalley has decided that it's not like the UK has just decided to, I don't know, become imperial again and stake a claim on all of his stuff. Like his stuff used to come on NetGalley in US, and now it does not until like after the UK one is released. I know this because I read Ogres on NetGalley. I read City Last Chances on NetGalley, and none of the other Tyrant Philosopher ones I did because it's only on NetGalley UK, which I don't have a thing to. And when I try to register, they're like, I don't know who you are, and then they reject it. So
how dare they?
So yeah, the fact that the Hungry Gods isn't on American NetGalley is weird because like all of his stuff used to be on NetGalley US and now it's not. And I know I sound very entitled, but
You love it.
yes.
Yeah, you don't. That's okay.
Christina said because I love it. I was going to say because I deserve it. Shanae.
I don't have a ton of anticipated books this year. I went with All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu.
Yes!
It's a science fiction, I think, thriller. But I think it comes out in October. And
I think
excited.
it's cyberpunk adjacent, Kai.
Ooh.
Don't worry, Kai. All of this Ken Liu like humana that I'm gonna hear soon is gonna make me DNF Line Dynasty.
It hasn't. I don't. It hasn't gotten. The release hasn't gotten too much.
That's because
yet.
you people haven't gotten your hands on it yet.
Comes back
What
to
have I
book two,
done?
just really do that.
Well, nothing, Charmaine.
Hey, you're Pete.
Charmaine, you're just collateral damage from Pete and
Freaking
Kyle.
Pete.
And again, forgetting me, loving
And
Game the Line
and
Dynasty.
Evie. It's not your fault. Kai.
I already did mine.
Oh, you already went. Sorry, Pete.
Yeah.
You started.
So thank you, Charmaine, for stealing the one that I said that I was going to say until my stuff talked.
You should have spoke up.
Yes.
So what do we got?
Got
I don't think I actually have anything that we haven't talked about for new releases coming out.
Oh, Pete, I have an answer for you. Lies Weeping if you ever finish.
Oh, that's right.
Black Company.
We haven't talked about Lies Weeping yet. So I have 2 books left in Black Company.
Oh, we're back again.
You're Robo again.
Your mic's cutting out again. I know. Well,
wonderful.
Nope. Hold on. It's fine now. Go talk.
Maybe it's
okay. Cool.
editions?
So I bet you it's. Wait, is it this?
Currently, it looks like a Japanese dub.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay. So Lies Weeping is a new Black Company book. I have 2 left. I am really excited to get back to this. This is another, like, I keep pushing it off because I don't have time to like sit down and read it. I'd like to read it this month. Not Lies Weeping, but Water Sleeps is the next one. So I have 2 books left, not including, I'm ignoring Port of Shadows for now. But so
there is, though, Pete, Joseph did say that there's like some stuff that I didn't understand in Lies Weeping is because it's related to stuff that happens in Port of Shadows. So I'm just letting you know.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I was not aware. I enjoyed Lies Weeping just fine. I was just like, why are they doing that? And it's like, it's like Port of Shadows. I'm like, oh, okay, well. All right. Okay, Pete, you can start. And then no, you can't have my slot. You can have Evie's next slot. I'm first.
I was going to say, can Anitha start since?
No, that's okay. Alan can go.
No, you used Anita's slot, Evie. You have to live with that that guilt. My biggest disappointment, and it is shuffled on I keep a running tally of like my favorite reads of the year. And this one, I keep shuffling it because every time I think about it, I hate it more. And it's Dreaming the Eagle, like the first Boudica book. I was so disappointed. I was so sure I was going to like this. I scheduled a read along of 4 books that are all plus 500 pages. And it just did not land for me. And there are 2 types of reviews of this book. And one of them, they don't like it. And it encompasses everything, my feelings exactly. And in the other kind of review, they love it. And the reason they love it is for all the reasons that I hate it. And it just didn't land for me. It just didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. There's way too much druid stuff. There's way too much mystical stuff I don't care about. A character dies, and it wasn't just me and someone else who was reading it. We did not realize the character had died. That is how unclear the narrative was. And we're just like, what? Wait, what? They're dead? Hold on. What? When did that happen? And we had to flip back and be like, oh, that's what that meant? It was, I don't know. It was just disappointing. I wanted really good Roman era historical fiction, but like from the side of the Roman era Brits, and I don't know. It just didn't work for me. And for some very clear reasons that other people really like. So, Pete, go ahead.
So I'm going to pop forward Dying of the Light by George R.R. Martin. So this was, I buddy read it with Kyle and Anitha. And wait, Anitha, were you on that one? Yeah.
No.
It was Kyle, Evie. I was about to say your name, and then I said Anitha, and I was like, wait, that's wrong. It was just the 3 of us, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, there wasn't a 4th. Funny thing, out of the 3 of us, I was the one who liked it the most because I was like, oh, these are some interesting themes. But it's still just kind of, all the characters were hateable. There was like 0 redemptive qualities outside of like maybe 1 or 2 characters at the very end of the book. The themes were on point. Characters sucked. So that's kind of like the summary of it all.
Right on. All right. So Evie already went.
No, I didn't.
No.
For biggest disappointment.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay.
Only you and I have gone, Ellen.
Wait.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought we were at the end.
And next question.
Proof House by KJ Parker.
Oh.
That was my other choice, Evie. If I hadn't have said what I said, no, I get you.
So you can see at the point at which my cares just went away about this book. I signed up for a free trial of Speechify because there are no audiobooks available for any KJ Barker books, to my knowledge.
There are. They don't start until 16 Ways.
Yeah.
Anything before that does not have audio.
But
speaking of which, Tor, Subterranean Press, you can hire me. I will be happy to do it. Sorry, go ahead.
Do it.
Professional audiobook narrator.
I just having the trust established by Parker with his previous works that I've read. This is just by far the most disappointing.
It's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. Understand that we read this, and this is 1,400 pages. Like, they are not short books. And it's just, the thing is, I expect Parker to whiff it in the third book now, Evie. So that's why I couldn't be disappointed, because I'm like, yeah, it's not.
And I think worse is that it's forgettable. I don't remember a single thing that happened in this book.
Yeah, you do. If I remind you, you're going to be like,
Pete, and I still need to read the book.
But the thing is, what Evie's saying, like, it is still Parker, and his prose is still good, and the themes he explores are still good. It's too long, and where the story goes, it doesn't justify this series length. Like, it just doesn't. And I mean, Evie's right. It is forgettable, but I would never have been able to get through that book with as long as it was with a lesser author. Like, if that had not been written by Parker, I couldn't have done it. I would have DNF'd it, absolutely. But I love the way Parker writes. Yeah. But I'm with you, Evie. I am with you.
The real question, though, is are we going to have the live show discussion of the Proof House before we start Scavengers?
We both have to read it, so Pete
and I. Maybe I'll add that.
We have to get to it before Scavengers, Anita. We have to make it.
I'm going to add it as a prompt, Anita, to the attack. Someone has to read Proof House. I'm hoping that Scavengers, because I have read 3 trilogies now by KJ Parker, and the Engineer trilogy landed for Evie, but not for me. So I think that's just more of a personal thing. Fencer did not land for either one of us. And Silas Corax, I thought it was fine. I thought the ending. I
loved Silas Corax.
Yeah, I know, Anything. I know. Yeah, that
Engineer also landed for me.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
And I will just say that even though this series, like, Proof House didn't land for me, I do not regret my time reading Colors in the Steel and
Belly of the Bow.
Belly of the Bow, yes. I almost said the Bell House, and I'm like, that's not right. So.
Belly of the Bow will change your life.
Yeah, that's unforgettable, actually.
And not in a great way. Go ahead. Sorry, Charmaine.
Me?
Oh, Anita.
Anita, go. Sorry.
Anyway, I DNF'd a book.
I should have said you. I should have said Anita was my biggest disappointment of the year. I revised my answer.
Dang.
Go ahead, Anita.
Okay. My answer is This Is How You Lose Time War. I DNF'd a book in 4 years. I did not DNF a single book.
And she DNF'd a novella. A novella.
I did not even DNF Claudius the God. Yeah.
Ouch.
So, I mean, I had high expectations of that book. It's been one of my 5-star predictions, but I did not care. I mean, I can see what the others are doing between writing to letters, something like that, communicating via letters, these 2 entities. I can see that. But somehow, I don't know, maybe I was in the wrong mood. I just did not care. I was like, no care.
Happens.
Charmaine?
Go ahead.
Okay. Honorable mention to Babylonia. But I'm going to go with, because I DNF'd that one, but I also DNF'd The Lioness. This was a NetGalley book. It was a historical fiction about Jean de Clisson, whose from a historical perspective, I would like to learn more about her because she seems really interesting. Her husband was framed and killed by the king, and she like goes on like this raid and like forms her own like militia and like becomes a pirate and starts like attacking French ships and like stealing their supplies and like murdering people. And I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. But the way this author wrote the story is criminal. Like she turned her into like a girl boss, like like yeah, like my strength is defined about through physical through fighting and like killing. She had no depth, and we were told that she loved her husband, but we were never shown that she loved her husband. And like she had 2 kids before she married her husband, and they didn't really like have a connection with her husband who died. And she was like watching him like fight in this tournament before he was killed, and she's like, if only my kids could come see him fight, they would love him like a father. I'm like, what the heck does that have to do with being a father? It was just like the author didn't know how to like portray strength outside of just like, I like fighting. So
All right.
But I would be interested in reading about the historical Jean de Clisson.
Kai?
Mine was, I don't have it pictured here because I turned it in for store credit, was The Buffalo Hunter.
Oh my god!
Poor Evie catching
by
strays.
Stephen Graham Jones. And so this is just should be a lesson to me, is like I tried something new and went outside my comfort zone and it didn't work, and I'll never do it again.
Never
be comfortable.
Yeah.
The one the non-sci-fi book he reads.
Yeah, I was like, I'll try this like horror, like historical thing, and it was like it just didn't work for me. It's unfortunate because I really am interested in the setting where I am in the middle of Canada. Buffalo hunting traditionally is a huge thing. And so like I was really ready to connect with that part of the story, and it didn't work for me. And there were some thematic choices that affected the plot that I can see how like they work for other people to be in a vague way, but they just didn't work for me, which is unfortunate. But I respect what it was doing. Like it was a good idea. I just didn't really come together for me. Yeah.
If I recall correctly, you didn't really jive with the authorial voice, right? You didn't really like it.
Yeah, like it wasn't. Yeah, it just was. It didn't connect with it. Okay. Just
all joking aside, like Stephen Graham Jones, like you either love his writing style or you don't. Like there's no in between.
Yeah, yeah, and it was definitely like trying a completely different new thing for me. So it just didn't work out. But yeah,
it's fine. You just hurt my heart. It's fine.
All right, Pete. Biggest surprise.
Biggest surprise was, I think we'll fit in.
I'm gonna skip you.
Do you want to take this one? Do you know what I'm going to say, Denitha?
We don't have enough time.
Go ahead.
I'll go into it. Anyways, I'll do a different one.
I have different, but I have 2. Okay.
So do I. By Blood, by Salt, by J.L. Odom. So this one, I think I learned about it early in January because Tori from Tori Talks was just like, oh my gosh, I read this and it's amazing. And I was like, that sounds exactly what I would love to read. So I bought it and I was unemployed. So I read it and I loved it. So this is a very like slow burn. Oh, and by the way, it won Spiffbo. And we were all just like, yes, it deserves it, because it really does.
How do you explain that Chatty DNF'd it?
Chatty DNF's a lot.
That's true. That you can't hold that against anything. You're right. You're right. Carry on.
It's fine. So By Blood, by Salt, it's a very slow burn. I honestly think you should not read the back of the book because it spoils about halfway through the book. It's one of those things. It's just there's a hippo. There are no hippos in By Blood, by Salt. So Yeah, it's about this guy who is a religious minority in a very warlike culture, and it's not like your typical, hey, he's in the minority and he's going to be like this saint, and super oppressed. He still is like super oppressed, but like there's a lot more like gray areas. That it's Middle Eastern based, right? A lot of sand, a lot of all this other stuff, and it's about like these different people's place in the society. In this, he's struggling to move up through the military because he follows a faith that is not, and of course his ethnic background as well, that kind of plays into this. I feel like I'm not doing very good at selling it, but it's a fantastic book about struggling against depression, and there's some really good fight scenes.
Did you say oppression or depression?
Oppression.
I mean, kind of both, but more the first one.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Right on. Evie?
Kai will be happy. Dungeon Crawler Girl has been the biggest surprise to me. Everyone, and Kai, I think you will. I think you were one of the people that was all very surprised when I was like, "I love this book." Yeah,
we all were.
Yeah,
it's fun, and I don't like fun, so make that make sense. But in all seriousness, I was very, very surprised by how emotionally connected I felt to the titular character from the get-go, from the start. The third book literally made me weep. Not because of anything terrible happening, just the emotional weight of just the entire situation that they're in. I feel like in book 2, but there's really can't say anything more about it that people don't already know, but a guy is put into a dungeon by an alien system that takes over Earth, and he has to compete to try to live, and there's a talking cat named Donut. Queen and Chunk.
Anitha?
Okay, I have
Let's
two.
move on from this as quickly as possible.
Okay, the first one is Curse of Chalian. I mean, it took me by surprise. I did not expect to love this so much. I did not know anything about the book, and I love everything about the book. Characters, world,
Why did you not talk
writing.
about this book? I read it. I read it this year also.
Yeah,
She was talking
I
about it
don't
all
know.
over Discord.
Yeah, but not at the same time. So I don't think I ever talked to Anitha about it.
You read it in January. I read it in February. So
I was already done. I see.
yeah. So, I mean, I love everything about this book. It's about this guy in war. He was captured and he worked as a slave for 5 years, and he comes back to his old lord's house, and he was appointed as the guard and teacher, as mentor, as the granddaughter of that old master, and from there the journey starts. So it's about that daughter's future and her journey, but the main character is the mentor. Actually, I really love the characters, his loyalty, and that young, it's just 16-year-old protagonist, but the clarity she has about her duty, uh, that was actually, I mean, initially she was about very rash about justice, but he teaches her how to do that justice without antagonizing people. So I really liked like characters, everything. Actually, this took me by surprise. Alan is not here. Now is the time to say it. When I read this one and Purple and Black back to back, at one point I considered, okay, which book I liked more. So I loved it. I mean, at the end, I decided Purple and Black because that stayed with me more, but I really liked it a lot. And the second book is, please show the book, Windhaven by George R. Martin and Lisa Tuttle. I gave my copy to Sal. Anyway, this is a sci-fi standalone, and my first George R. R. Martin. This is about these people goes to different planet and they get stranded there. They can't come back to Earth. So that planet actually it's divided into like multiple islands. They can't travel between islands, so they take those sailcloth and turn them to wings, so they can only travel by wearing wings. So like hundreds of years those flyers only the firstborns can inherit their wings. So that kind of creates a caste based society, and it's about one girl's fight to become a flyer.
Curse of Chalian?
This the second one, Windhaven.
No, you don't get 2. We don't have time for you to have 2. You get 1.
Okay, I'm done.
It's really good, guys. Anyways,
Christina told me what she said about Purple and Black also.
What did I say about Purple and Black? Tell me.
You know what you said, Charmaine.
Another book Anita will hate because it has women in it.
but it's only one, right?
Lone Women by Victor LaValle. I can't remember how this book got on my radar, but I'm very happy it did, and it surprised me because it was my first book by him. And I love a Western setting, but I don't always love stories that writers choose to put in Western settings. But I really enjoyed this one. It follows a woman who leaves her house suddenly and mysteriously with a trunk. And that's all she has. And she travels to Montana. And you don't know what's in the trunk for a long time. But anyone left around the trunk either ends up scared, hurt, or dead. And like you're trying to figure out what the heck is she carrying around with her. And like it's both physical but also like metaphorical. Her plan was just to find a home and like live in isolation, but she ends up finding community amongst some other women in the town. And but it gets to the point where in order to protect herself and the people around her, she has to confront what's in the trunk. And it's really good.
I have read The Ballad of Black Tom by Victor LaValle, and having never read any Lovecraft, apparently that's a response to and also play off of a Lovecraft story. I absolutely adored his storytelling, just the atmosphere, and I need to read that and everything else he's written.
Kai?
Mine is Empire in Black and Gold. Yeah, I was looking for a fantasy story about an empire and people fighting back against the empire, and also it was perfectly that, and also there were many kinds of bugs or Kindin, and that for some reason that combination just gripped me, and I like blew through it and blew through the next one, and I'm gonna be continuing the series. So
that's awesome. You're on book 3?
Yeah, Blood of the Mantis is the next one.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited. My biggest surprise is A Monster Calls. It is very short and it has pictures, and I had no idea what it was about. I thought it was like a horror book. It's not. And I read it and I loved it. I read it in a single sitting. So Monster Calls, it's better. The less you know about A Monster Calls, the better off you are, but I recommend everyone reads it. So it's super short. You can literally read it in a sitting, but read A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. All right, guys. So that's we did half the questions, and so we're gonna cut it here, and we'll be back with part 2 next time. So thank you guys all who joined me, and thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.